that this development is to take place, there's a round of attention that services the highway clover on 22 and 31. And it also services some of Water Tower Road going all the way to the UPS building. That water is currently traveling through Barefoot and ultimately ends out in Lancaster. We are experiencing issues with our outfalls, specifically outfall number 2. This does drain directly into outfall number 2, which has caused erosion, flooding, and damage. The city has approved these developments without consideration to the cost to the residents, especially within Barefoot. We are financially responsible for the upkeep and maintenance per the city for these outfalls. This particular outfall cost us $7 million to repair. The city has no responsibility whatsoever, even though we pay $1 a door per month for stormwater management. The residents of Barefoot, the 3,500 doors, are being forced to make contributions for water that they're approving to be brought into here, essentially. Development can be good if it's planned properly. If there's a plan, contingency plan for the future, my concern is this is going to create more flooding, more property damage, and ultimately the Barefoot residents are going to be responsible for the repairs and whatever damage it causes.
So I want to knock this question out right out of the gate. You are the HOA person.
I am. I'm the HOA president for Barefoot.
For Barefoot. What do you say to the people who say, oh, this is just an HOA thing?
It's an HOA thing to the degree that I'm a resident of North Myrtle Beach and a resident of Barefoot. And I will pay for the damage as much as any other resident in Barefoot. Whatever happens with these outfalls, we have to pay for it. Not the city, not other residents, Barefoot residents only. So it's not just about the board. It's about Barefoot. It's about North Myrtle Beach. This can happen anywhere within Tidewater. It can happen at Tillman Estates. It can happen at Robert Roos. It can happen anywhere, and it is, from what I understand. There's flooding issues throughout the city. The infrastructure can't support the development that's going on right now, and ultimately we're going to pay for it.
So walk me through, what have y'all done to attempt to bring these concerns that you have to council in the process of this moving through?
We've had multiple conversations with council, with city members. We've requested for protection. We've requested them to take responsibility for these outfall pipes that they continuously approve developments and water to be put through, and they've declined.
They ever given you any reason for?
No direct reason. Just that it's not their responsibility.
So walk me through, what are y'all currently in the process of doing?
So at the last commissioners meeting, 3 ordinances were passed. The most economical way for the residents to fight an ordinance is to do a referendum petition. So we have 3 referendum petitions, and we are asking the city to protect us. We're collecting signatures from registered voters in North Myrtle Beach to be presented to council and ask them to either rescind their decision on this or put it up for vote and allow the residents to decide enough's enough.
What's the response been so far, going around and talking with people about getting their signatures on this referendum?
It's been very positive. A lot of people are concerned, and we're finding that it's not just in Barefoot. We're finding it's throughout the whole city because we're not just collecting in Barefoot. And it's been a very positive response, and everybody seems like they want to help, and they have signed. And they've taken petitions to get them signed. So we're getting a lot of community support. It's not just Barefoot that has concerns about the infrastructure and the overgrowth. It really is citywide.
This is more for my informational purposes. How many signatures do y'all need to make an impact? 3,000.
15% of the registered voters are the registered voters.
And say we hit that 3,000 mark, what does that then force to happen?
Well, once the city and the city council certify that the signatures are legitimate of registered voters, they have X amount of days, I believe it's 45, to decide how they're going to move forward. And ultimately, it's their decision at that
To the general public, to those in Myrtle Beach who are watching this, give me the one thing that you want them to know. What is it about this particular outfall that is so dangerous if left as the condition currently is?
This outfall is compromised, and we're currently in a lawsuit over who's going to repair it and who's going to fix it, and we do have some estimates that exceed several million. And like I said, it is a lawsuit, so I can't really go into too much detail, but the city's position is it's not their responsibility. And I, as a taxpayer in the city, feel it is their responsibility because I pay a stormwater management fee and I'm not getting management services. There's an inequity. The money is being routed to the beach and not the intercoastal. And there's an inequity for the residents on the intercoastal. It's not just Barefoot. There's outfalls that go up and down North Myrtle Beach. It just so happens that this one's been compromised from a storm in Matthew.
I want to, for just a second, go backwards and walk me through why this development in Barefoot Lakes that was just approved recently, why does that pose an increased danger to this outfall, but also the other three around Barefoot?
The homes that back up to that property currently on a regular rainstorm are experiencing swamp-like conditions in their backyard. When you start to lose ground to hold water, the water's going to continue to move to the lowest point. And it's becoming a problem before development. What happens after the development? That's where our concern lies. There's no study. There's no protections. And ultimately, any damage that water does, Barefoot residents are going to be financially responsible for it.
What was council's reaction when you brought that to the news? I know we were talking earlier about brought the data to back up what you're saying here. What was their response?
Some of them dismissed it. They dismissed it. Some do see the value in open space, and some did step up and say, hold on, we need to start preserving land. And others just said, no, let's keep it going.
What would your message be to members of North Myrtle Beach Council? What's your message to them? They're watching.
Taxpayers and residents first before developers. Put us first, because we're the ones paying the bills.
I'll give you the final word. Any final message, anything you think we're missing here?
I don't know. There's just so much that's involved with this.
Common area?
Common area, yeah. Our common area was changed for a right-of-way to access the property. That's a problem. Any community in North Myrtle Beach now that has a common area next to their home can be used for development. And that is against the city ordinances and laws. So,
what about collaboration and cooperation with
the city? Yeah, there has been no collaboration or cooperation. We were told buy the land. If you're that worried about it, buy the land to save yourselves. But I, as a taxpayer, shouldn't have to buy land to save myself. That's what the city officials are there for, to protect us.
That was good.
Yeah, that was
You're
great.
really good.